Welcome to this C4A Academy episode where we will discuss watching for magic to happen. You will learn about making semi-open questions from known questions. Prepare to be surprised and don't miss the moment. Making semi-opens from knowns.
Now this is a really good one because we can get a little bit more complex. Again,
Okay.
I'm, by the way, not looking at this point at even the semi-opens. These are known questions.
Yeah.
The answer to that is a known question. It was just alva.
So that's why I think we got to make sure that we have this in the lessons, because you're doing it on the fly, but we need to help people because I love this.
Okay.
So there you go.
So what did he add to his first improved telegraph machine? Now in there I had just said he added a printer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the answer as a known question is printer, but we're going to answer it in a sentence. Now again, there's a lot of ways that she could potentially choose to answer this.
Mm-hmm.
So what did he add? Let's see. Okay, H, that makes sense. Where are you going with that? He, great. He did what? I, where are you going with that? N, all the way. V, beautiful. E, and. N, and. T, and. E, and. D, he invented what? A, and. P, and. R, and. I, move. N, look. T, all the way, and all the way. He added a printer. Now, why was that so fabulous?
He invented.
That's exactly right. Because your brain was steadily thinking he added a printer. Which is why you heard me say, where are you going with that?
Yeah.
I didn't lift the board. I didn't tell her she was wrong. I didn't start to prompt her to go up to the A for added.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what Elizabeth chose to say. And because Elizabeth rocks with her bad self, give me a fist pump, boom, she did something that was wonderful. She chose her own word.
Yeah.
And that is where so many people get thrown, because people are assuming that they know what the person's going to say. Do not assume.
Yes. Please give us room to impress you. We like surprising you with unexpected words. Keep the board down and see where it goes. Prepare to be surprised.
There's a million stories I have about working with spellers who, two things, spell things that are really weird. Now these are really proficient spellers, and I'm looking at that board and I'm thinking, WTF, what the hell is this? I had a student this week was talking about alliteration in a poem and said something like, he used a lot of, now I'm going to spell, ALOTOFWSFOR. I'm like, WS. And then I realized what he spelled. He used a lot of W's for alliteration.
Oh.
Now this is, this is a very, very, experienced, adept, non-speaker. So I had to stop myself from lifting the board and saying WS is not a word.
Right. Okay. That's beautiful.
All right. So that happens to me several times a day. Okay. Now sometimes if I can't figure it out, I will write it down and I'll look. That's weird. And if I can't, I'll say to them politely, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But we do that to each other all the time. Wait, I'm sorry, excuse me, or can you repeat that? Okay, sometimes we space, sometimes we miss something, sometimes we mishear, and we ask each other to repeat things. Don't think that you're being rude.
Yeah.
Simply ask them to repeat it. If they want it, I'll say to them, that seems weird to me, but if you want it, go back to it, spell it again, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, the first time a speaker wrote OMG on the board, I'm thinking, not a word. Oh, wait a second. They use text talk to me all the time now. Now I'm watching for it, but there's still text talks that I don't even know. Okay, so I have to be really careful about correcting them when it's me who's making the mistake. Sometimes the things that are, somebody is saying are so shocking or so unexpected Okay, that there's this natural tendency to be thinking what you would say, but you can't. You need to learn to go with them. If you're confused, write it down. If it really doesn't make sense, no matter what you're doing, just ask them to repeat it. If they spell it again, you're the problem, not them. You need to figure it out. That WS, that really threw me.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm so used to it at this point that I went with it just to see what happens.
Remember that we pick up text talk and other information from videos and the world around us. Expect to be surprised.
And
that'll happen more in the open communication, I would say, than probably in
but yes and no, which is exactly, well, no. That's why I'm bringing it up now.
Okay, all right.
All right, because sometimes, for some non-speakers, it's almost like that moment where you're teaching your child to ride a bike and you let go.
Mm-hmm.
And off they go.
Don't miss the moment.
Most of them progress in a methodical fashion along with you.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they don't. Sometimes it just clicks and they can do it. Okay, and one of my biggest fears is that people are missing the moment when their child, their non-speaker, starts to talk.
Right.
More than once, not most of the time, but often. It literally is one moment to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it happened to me actually with my own son. Okay, when the day I learned that he could read,
Mm-hmm.
okay, bearing in mind he was almost 26 years old, and of course this was a revelation to me. I had discovered in his room on October 5th that he could read. I walked out of his room, my entire world, of course, shifting on its axis. I mean, it was such an incredible shock for me, both positively and negatively, of course. Positively because my son could read, negatively because, oh my God, what have I done to him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I walked out of the room and jokingly put a board in front of him, and just said, "You can read. Why didn't you tell me?"
Mm-hmm.
And he started to laugh a little bit, and I did not expect him to answer, and he spelled "know how to." It was his first phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it wasn't a full, beautiful, poetic sentence,
Right.
but he spelled "know how to."
Mm-hmm.
And that is open communication.
It is.
And in my ignorance, of course, I didn't, I was still reeling from that he could read, let alone recognizing that we had just broken through to open communication.
Right.
One more story. I've had this happen to me more than once. I am asking a student, that's why I'm bringing it up now. I'm asking a student a simple semi-open. And the answer, let's say, could start with an A, a B, or a C.
Yes.
Now, these students have good motor skills, but we're still progressing methodically. We're only thinking on a simple semi-open stage. My very, very first student at Mouth to Hand Learning Center, I asked a simple semi-opened, A, B, or C is the potential answer. She hits an M. Don't ask me why I left the board in place. I just did. And she spelled, "My bra is killing me." And
Oh my God.
and she just I know, Elizabeth.
Only the women watching this will understand that.
I can see we're all highly amused by that.
Oh my goodness.
And she started to monologue. She just started to monologue. "Wow, this is great. I can't believe I can talk now. Mom, I love you so much." And I was never, and I'm crying, her mother's crying. 10 minutes she monologued, concluding with, "Wow, I'm a chatty girl today." A chatty girl today, you've never spoken a word in your life meaningfully.
Yeah.
It was literally from that moment to that moment she started
Wow.
to talk.
Yeah.
It happened to me again with another young lady here.
Yeah.
Who I'm on a simple semi-opened again. I'm experienced enough to see what happens.
Yeah.
Hits an M and she spells, "May I be in a group so I can meet Caitlin because I'd really like to have a girlfriend."
Ah, nice.
Okay, so you don't want to miss that moment.
Yeah.
If your non-speaker is doing great and is really starting to get to letters really fluently,
Yeah.
if they hit something unexpected at the most unexpected moment, sometimes you might want to consider just leaving the board there and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
If they then spell MXP, no
Right.
problem. You go back and you just do your semi-open again.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Okay. But it's just a little warning because, Ginny, it does happen, and it happens often enough that it has to be in these videos.
Right, I agree.
We are so eager to break free from our silent cage that it can happen suddenly. We will still need to practice with the lessons to build our skills.
Again, we don't want you to think that magic always happens, but sometimes it does. So just look for it and be ready, just in case.
In this episode, we talked about how to make a semi-open question from a known question where you ask for the answer to be in a sentence. Prepare to be surprised. Write everything down and ask for clarification. Don't miss the moment. Leave the board down and see what happens. Your episode exercise is to select a C4A Academy lesson. Do semi-open drills by making semi-open questions from knowns. Take a known question and ask for a sentence. Ask for more and see where it goes. Watch for magic to happen. Here it is, your moment of zen.
Okay, so you're going to tell us something about yourself, Laura? What are you going to tell us?
Done.
Come on. Okay, M, Y, F, A, V, O, R, I, T, E, my favorite, T, H, I, N. Careful there, make it make sense.
Good.
T-H-I, let's go back to that, N, T-H-I-N. Come on, my favorite, T-H-I-N, you got this. Thing, my favorite thing. T-end, O-end, D-end, O-end, I-end. Is, my favorite thing is T, okay, what comes after the T? Let's double check that letter.
Hug.
Ah, move that hand for me, Pumpkinhead. T is 2. L, my favorite thing is 2. L, come on. Look. Move that hand for me. L, move. E, move. L, E. Fix that. What comes after the E? Show me. Let's double check it. Go. Move your hand, Laura. A, good. R, N, my favorite thing is to learn. And E, W, okay, hand is by the board, is to learn new, what?
And by a board.
L, E, S and S, O and N and S. My favorite thing is to learn new lessons. Awesome.